Epic news video, everyone. That's definitely what this video is. Luke Skywalker's Force Push gets a buff from 150 damage to 150.1 damage. Now let's talk about this for 10 minutes straight for our, how many are we on? 20th news video of the week. Let's get into it. I'm joking, everyone. I'm not actually here like everyone else to stretch out the tiniest comment into a whole news video. Let's actually have a discussion video here today. It's been a while, hasn't it? Oh yeah, and before you all start commenting, who is FGG throwing shade at with that intro? I'm throwing shade at every single person who does a news video for every minor detail. That's right, if you're one of those people, I'm throwing shade at you. Now the next few months are going to be very important and very interesting for Battlefront 2. We've got Rise of Skywalker content coming. I'm not going to sit here and predict what's going to be in the DLC. It doesn't take a scientist to work it out, does it? I'm going to stop throwing shade at this point. But yes, the next few months are very important for Battlefront 2. Let's talk why now. It has been Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars since, if you want to be very specific, August 2018 when the first two clone skins were introduced into the game. And a lot of people have been cheering, yes, the Clone Wars is here, and then other people have been complaining a bit as well. It doesn't really matter what side of the spectrum you're on. You can't deny that this Clone Wars content has revived Battlefront 2. The community transmission videos are in the millions. And one may argue at this point that this is basically Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA The Clone Wars. I don't think a lot of people would argue with that, but there are some, and it's time to move on. And now it's time to move on to, dare I say it, the sequel trilogy. Oh my god, FGG is a sequel trilogy hater 100%. Now, I've said with this content that I'll judge it as content, just like I did with the amazing Lost Jedi DLC. I hate The Lost Jedi as a movie, but god, that content is amazing. I love Crate, I love Finn, Phasma could do with a buff. But overall, the fan base, the majority aren't into the sequel trilogy. I know there'll be some, and I'm not speaking for everyone. And that was kind of the same with the Solo movie as well, when they did a DLC for that. And I'm actually a big fan of Solo, so proof that I can still like something and admit that the majority don't. Solo and The Last Jedi didn't do too great, and you can kind of see that with the trailers here as well for their content drops. Obviously, the game wasn't in the best position at the time, but did it revive things like the Clone Wars? Absolutely not. And that is a danger here. That is a huge danger. Now, I'm not just saying that people are going to say, right, no more Clone Wars content, I'm putting the game in the bin, never playing it again. No, that's obviously not going to happen. Battlefront 2 is going to have a bigger audience now than it's probably ever had, and it's going to stay that way, even if they didn't add content into the game for the next few months, which is just an example. We know that isn't happening. It would still have a bigger audience playing it than at any point throughout 2018. So no, I'm not saying the game is going to die, most definitely not. My question is, can this game continue this amazing run it's been having? Like I said, it's getting in the millions with the community transmission videos. The demand for content is at an all-time high. Can that continue throughout sequel content until the Clone Wars returns, if the Clone Wars returns even? Now I'll tell you this, when the sequel community transmission video drops, I'm going to predict it. You can all laugh at me if I get this wrong, I'm sure, but I don't think it's going to hit 1 million views. No way. Do I think it's going to be badly received? By some fans, yes, they'll just judge it because they don't like the sequel trilogy. I won't do that, even though I'm not a big fan of the trilogy. But it's not Clone Wars. It's not the missing Ahsoka, Ventress, Windu, characters like this. The vast majority of the fan base, who are children, I always have to remind people of that, but the vast majority of the fan base, the player base who are children, don't really understand that people have to make this game and the amount of time that goes into it. Alright, maybe some of them will, but they basically think, oh, let's beg for a character and it happens. And when they don't see Windu and they see, like, here's a brand new Finn skin, or here's another sequel character who not that many people care about, will they get turned off by it? Will they even click on the trailer in the first place? And will they come back to the game for that specific month? And I believe this starts in October, and by that I don't mean the sequel content starts in October. What starts this month in October is Battlefront 2 proving where it's really at. Because yes, Maul's getting a Kenobi Scream emote, but there's not really any Clone Wars content coming this month, is there? There's none at all apart from that. Luke's getting a skin, highly requested, and while the original trilogy is very popular, easily more popular than the Clone Wars, when it comes to the game, the Clone Wars is where it's at with a lot of fans, and when they see it's not their precious Clone Wars, are they going to keep coming? Now, I believe October is looking like a solid month, considering it's just come after a new map, and there's no Clone Wars content in there. I'm liking what's coming, some mystery skins, obviously the skin and emote we know about, the usual bug fixes, reinforcements are on the way, most likely for the sequels, and that's another thing there. No sequel heroes confirmed yet. Obviously that could happen, but at the same time, do they not want to put that much effort into heroes because they know it's not going to work out as well as if they were to do it for the Clone Wars? So instead, they'll, once again, prediction here, they'll make the Sith Trooper, which is just making the First Order Trooper red. Doesn't take as much time, give it some abilities, there's your sequel content. I could be wrong with all this, I'm just making predictions here left, right and centre. It's better than news videos. I'm not going to stop taking shots at all you guys who are making a news video for everything. You're ridiculous at this point. Even I had to stop, and I was hardly making it for every little thing, but even I couldn't go on with like the one a week at the most. But yeah, this is where things start really getting proven about the real state of Battlefront 2. Can it survive outside the Clone Wars? I hope so. I think so, but I don't think anything will ever meet the demand of Clone Wars content, especially of Droidekas. That seemed to be when this game just lit up and then crashed right back down the next month with those victory poses and voice lines. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. Leave a like if you do enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you all next time.